That was pretty good. It was probably like tearing up our Here We Go. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different record from a different band or artist, and we break down the record. We find out all the little secrets we can, and we let everyone know what those secrets are, because that's what we do on Asinine Radio. I don't know. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, way out there, is Jeff. Go to Apple Podcasts. Please go rate, review, and subscribe to us on there, but only give us 5 stars, because that's all we want. We want to be loved. We want to be liked, because we're idiots. I mean, we want the love. We don't want the hate. Fuck the hate. Oh. And that's probably what we'll get from this episode. Who knows? Who fucking knows? While you're doing that and while you're listening, you can follow us on social media at Asinine Radio. We have a phone number you can call. Leave us a voicemail, a text message. Send us a text. The number is 503-893-5307. Also, if you're interested, we do have a Discord server. If you want to join that, hit us up. Let us know. We'll send you a link and get in on that and hang out with us. I don't know. So that's all I got for the boring intros. What are we doing today, Jeff? Go.
We are doing Britney Spears' "Oops, I Did It Again." I was already into the teen pop stuff at this point. This is several years after the Backstreet Boys have already dropped their first album. I liked the Backstreet Boys damn near from day one, and I had to have parental what do you call it?
You had to have parental supervision to buy that.
Yeah, my dad had to make sure that the Backstreet Boys wasn't some hip hop, which is so bizarre too, because I listened to a lot of hip hop at that time too, and I went to the school that was like highly Hispanic too, and I wore my socks pulled up and I dressed like everybody else. But the Backstreet Boys,
that's where you drew the line.
That's a no. But yeah, I was already well into the teen pop stuff. So when Britney dropped, I was all for it. Of course I was. I love Baby One More Time. I thought it was a great album. I thought there were great songs. I liked the videos. I was caught up in it. When Oops came out, I loved that. When Oops I Came Out, Justin Kruger style.
Oh no.
That's a deep cut.
Oh, that is a very deep cut. Wow, only like 5 people would know about that.
When Oops came out, I liked that also. And I liked Oops, I Did It Again for many, many years. Actually, I liked Oops, I Did It Again until this week. I don't know. That's it. I don't know when the first time. I mean, I do know when I actually heard Britney Spears for the first time, but that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Okay, my origin story. I remember the exact place and moment that I first heard Britney Spears. It was at my friend Sean's house. It was myself, him, and our friend Alicia. And we were sitting in his dad's living room, and we were watching MTV, and this video came on. The first time I had ever seen or heard it. And, you know, when I was, 1999, so I was 12 years old. A 12-year-old boy seeing Britney Spears for the first time. I mean, you know.
Well, she was barely older than us.
Yeah, she was barely older than us. She was a babe. And, you know, we're kids. Loved it, and then just kind of followed her through the next couple albums, even though at the time I remember being like, me and everybody else were like, no, we're too cool for Britney Spears. We're guys. We like, you know, rock music. We like this or that. But secretly, we all listened to this shit. We all did. We all watched the music videos. No matter how much we said we hated it, we all watched her music videos, no matter what. That's just how it was. No matter how punk we got or metal we got, we all watched it. So, yeah, that was the first time I had ever heard it. And then I remember going to the library, the Yorba Linda Public Library, when you remember you used to be able to check out CDs for free. So I remember checking out the Britney Spears CD, and then I went home and I recorded the Britney Spears CD on a cassette tape, because this is before this is like right before we were able to burn CDs, or like a lot of people were able to do it. So I remember I recorded the CD onto a cassette tape so I could listen to it. And yeah, that's my origin story with it. And then I kind of followed her through this record, her second record, Oops, I Did It Again. And then after that, I just kind of stopped caring, really. But I mean, I would kind of follow her singles, but outside of that, I didn't really care. And yeah, that's my origin story with Britney Spears. So let's jump into Oops, I Did It Again. And what are our initial thoughts on it? And then do we have any stinkers on it, first of all?
Do we have any fucking stinkers, this guy? Do we? So my initial thoughts on this, this is so much worse than I remember it being. And it was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. This album is just not good. I get that it's a period piece of this era of teen pop, but it's just not good. And like, my God, dude, the Spice Girls did it better. BSB did it better. NSYNC did it better. Fucking 98 Degrees did it better. This album is not good.
I wouldn't say 98 Degrees did it better.
98 Degrees did it better.
That's where,
baby.
I draw the line there.
Talk about Christmas albums, pop wise. Ooh, baby.
I would say Christina
baby.
did it better. Like
Christina
as a whole,
did it better. No,
as a whole, her album.
Christina's a better singer, and that's another thing too. Like, God, I have so many negative things to say about Britney Spears. Is crazy, but I do have a lot of positive things to say too. So, nothing about this album, but this is just not. This album's not good. It's just not good at all. And you talk about stinkers. I mean, I only have 2 bangers.
Well, let's run through your stinkers real quick, because we're not going to be playing a lot of bangers, I'm sure.
So are we going like stinkers from top to bottom?
Let's go. Let's do it this way. Let's do our best of the stinker down to the worst stinker. Like
no, they're all stinkers. Oh, okay. All right.
Like the stinkiest of stink.
So
we'll start with a like say you have 3 stinkers. We'll start with a 3 stinker and then down to our 1.
I get the ranking of stinkers.
Okay,
I have 2,
you were acting like
3,
you didn't.
4, 5, 6. I have 6 stinkers.
Okay, fair.
I have 6 stinkers, 2 bangers, and then everything else is just okay. And okay is like I was being generous.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would think that Dear Diary is the last song. It's the only song on the album that was written, at least in part, by Britney Spears. Oh my God, and I fucking hate it so much. I cannot stand this song. I hate how this vocal like builds up and leads to her just saying Dear Diary. I hate it so much. I cannot stand this song. It is the stinkiest of stinkers. It's a fucking joke. Like honestly, like listening to this, I'm like, are you purposely trying to waste my time? What the fuck is this? I don't know what this is supposed to be.
And let me say this: we're going by the standard edition of this record, so there's 12 songs, and we're going by Dear Diary being the 12th song on this record.
Yes.
So Spotify has it listed a little bit differently, but we are going by the standard edition of this, and we're not going to be. I mean, I don't give a shit to talk about. I don't care enough to talk about the bonus songs. So we're not even going to touch upon those.
How many bangers do you have?
I have 3 bangers.
Okay, that's not bad. How many stinkers do you have?
I have 3 stinkers, like absolute through and through stinkers. Like,
okay,
dude, they're just fucking terrible.
Well, let's run through your 3 stinkers in no particular order if you don't want to, but let's get through.
Okay,
them.
Before we get to my stinkiest stinker, we'll start with my 3 stinks. That's When Your Eyes Say It, the second to last song.
God,
it's a slower jam. It had okay. So knowing how young she was, they throw this song on here, which if you grew up in the 90s, even I guess nowadays, when you're growing up, you probably watched some sort of like old school porno, and that's what this music sounds like. It sounds like really kind of bad, funky porn music from like the 80s.
It's terrible.
It's so fucking terrible. And it makes it even creepier knowing how young she was. And it kind of seems like, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of weird things with her music, especially the early stuff that is really creepy. And then putting this kind of music to her songs is even weirder. It's terrible. It's a nasty kind of, it's a slow jam. I don't care for it. And yeah, that's my 3 stinks.
I had to listen to that song like 4 times because I couldn't stay focused. I could not just stay focused for fucking 3 minutes and just hammer out at least one or two lines. But yeah, that's a stinker for sure for me.
Yeah,
Easy.
It's terrible. It's terrible. So
That's
give me
good.
another stinker from you.
Well, that was one. I have way more. I have like double the amount of stinkers.
That's true. So give me another stinker. So we kind of level it out.
Okay. What you see is what you get is a stinker. Don't let me be the last to know is a stinker. I can't get no satisfaction is a stinker. Don't go knock on my door is a stinker.
Okay.
Where do you want to go? Let's get into I can't get no satisfaction because
that's my two stinks.
Because you know what really pisses me off too is when she did Britney, she did the I Love Rock and Roll cover.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
That's one of her worst songs also.
And I will say this too. I don't think that's a very good song. Like just in general.
Okay.
I don't like that song at all. Whenever it comes on, I really want to change it. I don't think it's that great of a song.
I like Joan Jett like as a person, as a rocker, as a musician.
And what she represents.
Yes. And
like,
I think
like that. But that song sucks.
I think there's a time and place for I Love Rock and Roll, but I think it's been because it was like the mid fucking 70s, dude, and like she's coming out as like as a punker in the mid 70s, really. Yeah. So that's there's something to be said for that. But God, that song has just been I don't know, raped by culture. It is so bad.
I know.
And it's not a bad song. Like it really, if you try to really just objectively look at it, it's not a bad song. It's really cool. But God, I like you, I cannot stand listening to that song.
I know. I'm so over. Like I can't even listen to it ironically. To me, I just don't think it's a good song. I know you don't agree with me with what you just said, but fuck, man, I don't think it's a good one. It's like
there's a lot of cool nuance to the song. There's a lot of cool little guitar leads. The solo is pretty cool. There's a lot of cool parts to the song. It's just every fucking bar you go to, somebody's gonna play it, and a bunch of just way too drunk people are gonna start singing it.
It's too cheesy. It's too cheesy anthemic for me. I don't know. It's a bad anthem. I don't know.
The only thing worse is when fucking Britney sings it. So
yeah. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Rolling Stones.
And then the only thing worse than that one is when she does I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Why do we need to slow it down and whisper if we're just going to pop it up and erase whatever feeling we were even trying to instill to begin with?
I know. There's like no melody. Like there's not even like a melody to it. She didn't even try to use the melody from the original, but she didn't even add to it. She didn't create her kind of own melody to it. The song is nothing. It's fucking nothing.
I like when covers don't sound anything like the originals, and when you try to when artists do it their own way. But like you said, so you didn't copy them. You're not relying on the main riff that Richards did. That's great. I love it. So now what? Now where do we go? And then oh my God, the whole part, like the whole "And I Try" part, has this really cool build up. And then just goes absolutely nowhere. It does nothing. It is fucking pathetic. And then she's like rapping the I Can't Get No Satisfaction part. I can't stand it. I cannot stand this fucking song.
There are so many parts on this record that are just embarrassing. Straight up embarrassing.
Terrible. I don't see how anybody could honestly like fight for this album being a good album. I really don't.
Yeah, I agree. It does hold a lot of nostalgia for me. It definitely does. Not just because, watching the music videos extensively on MTV, but also because my sister my sister's 3 years younger than me, and she loved Britney Spears. So, she would listen to her records all the time. So I was constantly hearing Britney Spears every which way. So like I do have a ton of nostalgia with it, just in my own house and with friends or TV or whatever, It was always there. She was always there. Yeah, this cover, this Rolling Stones cover is trash. Absolute trash. And wait, so let's go back to Dear Diary, the closer of the record.
How is that not a stinker for you? Is this a banger for you?
No, Dear Diary is the stinkiest of stinks.
Oh,
this is the worst. This is the worst, man. This is just like the worst slow jam you could have done. just terrible, terrible like 80s or early 90s sounding keyboard, some terrible chimes. I mean, this is just, I mean, musically, it's a train wreck. And then you get to the lyrics, and the lyrics are beyond a train wreck. This is like an asteroid hitting the fucking earth. That's how terrible the lyrics are. I mean, they're just, I mean, I understand she was so young and she co-wrote this. I mean, you could tell, I mean, this could have been written by a 12-year-old.
I know.
Like it's so
this seems
bad,
like
dude.
This seems like she just kept asking and asking and asking and she could write a song, and like literally they just let her write like a verse and then threw it at the end of the album just to shut her the fuck up. And it comes out like this, and she's not 12. She's not a 10-year-old writing poetry in her first grade class. Like, she's damn near a grown ass woman here. It's silly. This is awful. This is awful.
But then kind of taking it to another viewpoint too is it's also kind of sad because kind of looking at her life prior to this record, she's been essentially groomed from since she was like 6 years old.
Yeah. When
she was on Star Search, like she has not had a normal life since she was like 6 years old.
Right.
Without a doubt. So it's sad. It's sad at this point where it's almost like she's been stunted. Her growth has been stunted. And it was stunted at a very,
emotionally
very
underdeveloped.
Yeah. I mean, we've always kind of thrown that term around, like jokingly with, certain musicians who we really admire. But in this instance, it's actually true. Like, this is a very, very clear example of that. And it's very, very sad. And it's so obvious. And I remember back in the day when we were kids, I remember my mom and dad always saying, like, this is very weird. This is strange that she is so popular. And my parents never liked Britney Spears. They thought, she has no talent. It's creepy. It's weird. We don't get it. Why is this happening? But when you're a kid, you don't see the dark underbelly of the music industry and the creepiness of it all. But we're in our 30s now, and going back to this, we really understand how fucked up her life was. It's
bizarre because I think like in the beginning, Britney Spears was clearly just somebody that was groomed, someone that had no voice, no opinions, no thoughts for themselves. And like from the age of like 6 or even below, when voice lessons and dance lessons, like she barely went to real school, didn't really have any kind of real friends. And, Oops, I Did It Again and Baby One More Time. These are very hyper sexualized songs that were written for, I mean, she was 18 for most of this, but we're not really developed fully at 18, and she doesn't quite know what's going on at 18 years old. I mean, let's revert to Taylor Swift and her dating Jake Gyllenhaal at 19, I think it was, and how she's come out and now said how horrible that was. So we're not developed enough at 18, 19 to be making these long-term decisions about where we are going with our life. That being said, Britney Spears has become like this icon for kind of the freaks, the geeks, and the nerds, for anybody that feels underappreciated or cast out of society. And I think it's because in the beginning, where she was clearly like sexually exploited, she embraced it. She finally embraced it, and she said, "This is now who I am. I'm comfortable with myself." And I watched a lot of interviews this week that she did where she got shit on. And I didn't search out these interviews where she got shit on. It just so happened I was like, oh, Britney Spears interview 1999, Britney Spears interview 2003. And every fucking interview she did, no matter who it was, the only one person that supported her and had her back was Rosie O'Donnell. She did like an interview with her, and Rosie's like, yeah, fuck everybody else, essentially. Like, just do you. But like every interview she did, Britney came on to talk about her new album, came on to talk about whatever, and it always reverted back to her sexuality. And it was always like, how do you feel like you're a role model for people? And Britney Spears, I don't want to be a role model. I'm just out here doing my thing. I want to just make money. I want to dance. I want to have a good time. I want to inspire people, but I don't want to be a role model. And all the white old ladies are always just, well, you're dressing provocatively. And then she was like, dude, I'm not their parents. Change the fucking channel then if you don't want to watch it. This is what I do. This is who I am. I'm comfortable with it. And then she went on to say, like, how come no one gave a shit when Madonna did it? When Madonna did it, when J-Lo was doing it, even when Christina Aguilera was posing naked for Rolling Stone. How come no one ever gave a shit about them? Why has Britney Spears always been at the butt of all fucking jokes? Why has she been shit on since like day one? And this whole Britney Spears conspiracy thing and everything revolving Britney Spears' life, I've never like jumped on board, but my God, dude, Britney Spears has been shit on for so fucking long, and I don't understand why. She makes bad music for sure, but so does a lot of people make bad music.
True.
Like the media singles out Britney Spears and like tries their hardest to ruin her life.
I think it's because, so my view on it, the reason why she was so taken advantage of, and she still is to this point, like we were talking about, she was emotionally underdeveloped. Like she never grew up. So she has that viewpoint, that naive viewpoint. And I feel like the people around her, the record labels, the managers, Lou Pearlman, you know, they all took advantage of that naive. How do you say that word? Naivete? How do you say that? Naivete. Yeah. They took advantage of that. With this. Oh, no. Yeah. I feel like they took advantage of her knowing full well, and they just ran with it. I feel like it was them who sexualized her. She didn't want it, but she doesn't really, I don't think she's ever really understood what's actually going on. And that goes along up until today. I mean, she's literally been controlled her entire life, whether it be the record label, like I said, the record label, the managers, the conservatorship thing that's been going on for the last 12 years. She's had zero control, and I just don't think she is able to really comprehend anything else. Anything more advanced, I don't think she can really understand, if that makes sense. I'm not knocking her. I'm calling out.
She's a product of her environment. It's not really her fault.
I don't really think it is. I think it's everybody who has taken advantage of her from the very beginning and have exploited her, including her parents. Everybody has exploited her. And the difference between her and Jennifer Lopez and Christina Aguilera is that they had more sense, or at least the people around them did, and they felt either bad to exploit them, or who knows what it is. We don't know. But Britney Spears has really gotten the shit end of in a way, she's got the shit end of the stick, even though she's sold way more than both of those artists together. But, you know, from a personal standpoint, she's got the shit end of the stick. She's been taken advantage of in the worst ways. And it's terrible. It really is sad. It's very, very sad.
And that's what it, like that's what it seems like, is Britney Spears has always been treated as an object rather than a person. And even like JT, Justin Timberlake, anybody from the Mickey Mouse Club era have since been treated as a person in some respect. But Britney Spears, even to this day, does not get treated as a person.
True.
And it is really, really sad. And it's bizarre because she's always so fucking nice in every single interview that I watched this week. Every single interview, she was always super, super nice. And even when people were because all these interviews, they would show video clips of parents that are outraged at Britney Spears wearing X, Y, and Z sexy outfit. And they're just shitting on her. Like, oh, Britney Spears is a slut and she's a whore and she shouldn't be doing this. We should kill her. And like in front of they were showing this to Britney, and she's just like, oh, wow, that's really mean. Like, that's not very nice. I'm just like, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to watch it. Like, she's very down to earth in that aspect, and very just, that's real. Like, if I'm not your fucking parent. If you don't want your kids to watch it, then change the channel. Yeah.
But I agree with you. There are I've watched some interviews with her over the years and recently too, and this week. I don't even think it's like her just being so nice. I think it's just her. I just don't think she really understands what's going on at certain times. And I feel like, I just think she's just been taken advantage of so horribly. And I don't think she has the, I'm not a fucking doctor, but I don't think she has the mental capacity to really understand what's going on.
It just seems like she has so much compassion constantly, and she's always looking out for, like you said, like the outcasts of society, the people that feel they don't belong. Because I feel like Britney, at her core, doesn't belong. She's not like a real person. She's just this,
I don't think
this fabricated pop star.
She's a product that she is a product because she has no say in anything in her life. All of her songs have been written for her. Everything has been done for her, or not for her, but in her name. And she's reaped very little of the benefits, which, I mean, I wanted to talk about eventually, but maybe we should kind of get back to the record. I don't know. Before we jump into more like
this record's great,
record.
so we can let's get back to it, I guess.
All right, so
Dear Diary, Stinky Stinks. That's good.
Stinky
I'm glad that wasn't your biggest banger.
Dear Diary is my stinkiest of stinks.
Dear Diary,
and man, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
It's good.
Damn. And then we talked about When Your Eyes Say It, right? Yeah, we did talk about that one. So those are my 3 big stinkers. Most of everything else is pretty meh to me. And then my 3 bangers. And let's go through some of your stinkers. Wait, did we go through all your stinkers?
We did not. I have a lot of stinkers.
Okay, let's run through them.
Okay, well, from the top, and I guess in no particular order. Don't go knocking on my door.
Okay, yeah, I remember you saying that.
Don't go knocking on my door. I mean, do you want to get into it a little bit? Do you want to move on? What do you want to do?
Let's move on for right now.
Well, if I move on, I delete my notes. Should I not delete my notes?
No, don't delete your note for that one yet.
Oh, God, is that one of your bangers? Why are you the way that you are?
Just don't delete the notes yet.
Okay, don't go knocking on my door is a stinker. Don't let me be the last knocking on your door. Wow, these are very similar kind of song
I know
titles.
a lot of...
Holy shit. I just realized that I thought I was reading the wrong ones. I kind of made a joke out of it, but then wow, these are very similar and really stupid. Both of those are dumb. Actually, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's 4 stinkers in a row.
Damn. So Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know is a stinker for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, right off the bat, there's no way I wasn't going to rate this a stinker. There's just no fucking way.
Well, so, okay. It's not a stinker for me, but it's not a banger for me. This one is not a banger. But I do
it shouldn't be a banger for you.
No, I agree. I agree. It's not a banger. But it is a song I want to talk about because, it's a departure from what she's ever done from her first record to this record. It's more of an acoustic kind of very soft. It's a love song. That's what it is. And what I didn't know until today was that the song was actually written by Shania Twain and her husband Robert Lang.
Yeah, this is the one.
I never knew that.
This is the one.
I couldn't believe that, dude. No. Other than that, the song sucks. And the video. This was her the last video she made for the record. The guy is clearly much older than she is, and
I didn't even finish the video.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
weird.
Fucking
and
weird. I don't like it.
A lot of slow motion shots of the same shots of him surfing, just weird. It's a stupid video. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. And real quick too. Speaking of songwriters, one thing what I never knew until this week, and I was so surprised by, was the song "Baby One More Time" from her first record. Obviously, that song was
terrible.
That song, well, it's kind of terrible. But the song was originally written for TLC, but TLC turned the song down because they felt it didn't fit their image or their style. So the songwriters brought it to the producers of for whoever was producing that record. So many people were producing it, but it was brought to her and suggested that she recorded it, and she put her own style to it, and that's what blew up. But I never knew it was originally a TLC song.
Well, don't forget. I didn't know that until this week either. But don't forget also that the Backstreet Boys passed, and another pop sensation, Five. Remember the group Five?
Yeah.
They passed also. Baby, when the lights go out.
Go out.
Dude, banger of a song.
That is a really good song. It's so weird you bring them up because they popped up on TikTok. I was on TikTok earlier this week. I guess TikTok's been following what I've been searching for. And one of their videos popped up, and I was like, what the fuck happened to this group? And I looked them up, and they were only around for maybe 5 years, 6 years maybe, but they sold over 25 million copies.
God damn.
Of their record. I never knew that. I thought they were the bootleg of the bootleg NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. but they were huge, absolutely huge in Europe and especially the UK. And yeah, they sold a lot of fucking records. Had no idea because they had that was the only hit they had here in the States. But outside of the States, they were humongous. They're huge.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking records for a band that, I mean, I had that album. I bought that album.
Did you really?
Yeah. Whatever album that was, but I remember like the cover and everything. I bought that album.
Damn, you were a full-fledged boy band man.
Dude, Five came out before Britney Spears did.
Did they? Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They're at least a year or two before Britney Spears. But yeah, I was really, I don't know how the fuck I got into pop or the pop realm of this, because nobody I knew listened to like pop music.
It had to have been MTV.
I was the oldest of my siblings. I fucking hated Disney at this point. I used to beg my dad to buy us HBO because I fucking hated Disney.
But secretly, you loved it.
No, I didn't. I never watched like all of the shows that were on at this time. Besides like Even Stevens, I watched a little bit, but I really didn't watch any like the Disney shows.
Okay, all right.
I was Nickelodeon through and through.
Okay, yeah. Nickelodeon never really showed music stuff. Disney Channel did, but Nickelodeon didn't at the time.
I really
so
did
it must
like
have been just like stuff on
pop.
MTV. Yeah, that's crazy that you actually had a 5 CD.
I did,
that's
yeah.
crazy to me.
I remember too, like the 5. But when NSYNC came out with their first album, I remember. I don't know if I told this story before, but I remember going on vacation with my mom, my stepdad, and we're in the hotel room.
I like this one.
And I had my earphones on, and I was listening to NSYNC, and I was like singing along to it. And I was getting into it because I don't give a fuck, dude. NSYNC was good. And I at some point the song was over, and I took my headphones off, and I realized that I had been singing very loud. And my stepdad was just like, looked at me like with a very, I'm going to smile, but I think this kid's a fucking insane psychopath. And then just said, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. It was probably like tearing up our here we go. Here we go. Here we go. One more time.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
I wasn't even embarrassed. I don't care. It was a good fucking album. I'd buy that shit on vinyl. It's a good fucking dude. God must have spent a little more time. I drive myself crazy, a little slower jam. But then tearing up my heart. Here we go. I want you back.
I would get the first 2 NSYNC records on vinyl, for sure.
I want you. And that oh my god,
it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, I know.
See, like, why did her first couple albums suck? But god, dude, BSB killer. 5, their first album was great. NSYNC killer.
Spice Girls too. Those first 2 records are solid.
Yeah, Spice Girls are fantastic.
Oh boy, let's see here. Other stinkers.
I will say that in Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know, there is like I think like they're almost trying to go into this softer like Japanese-esque styled instrumental thing. It has that kind of like sort of like string arrangement, but it's like on the synth. But like there's something about it that kind of reminds me of like a twangy, like something from Japan. I played a lot of Ghost of Tsushima, so I know a lot about Japanese music. Apparently,
clearly, yeah.
But that's what it reminded me of. I did like that, and really, I didn't hate this song. It was just her vocals. I could not fucking stand them.
Don't. I can't even.
This is not even do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a stinker. What you see is what you get. Stinker.
That is a stinker for you. Okay, that's a meh song for me.
Dude, these choruses are just ridiculous. This chorus really reminds me of "Oops, I Did It Again." It's just a shitty copy of it.
See, okay, so this is what I had on musically. I felt like this song is like a hybrid. The melody is a hybrid of "Baby One More Time" and "Oops." Like it's both of those songs mixed together with a little bit more R&B thrown in there for flavor. But otherwise, it's those 2 melodies and songs together in one.
Yeah, no, there we go. It's shit. God. It is shit. And there's a skit at the end of it, and it's so fucking stupid.
It's all so bad. And I mean, we haven't even really touched upon the lyrics.
Because they're dumb.
The lyrics are just so elementary. They're so 14-year-old girl, which, that was the demographic. That's what they were shooting for. That's who they were going for. It's all about, I love this boy that I saw, love at first sight. I will do anything for him.
The title of this song sums up the lyrics on this entire album. What you see is what you get. That is it. There's nothing deeper.
Yeah.
At all.
I think the deepest song on this record would be Lucky, lyrically.
Lucky.
That is the deepest song lyrically on this entire record. And even then, it's very, very basic. But we'll get into that a little bit later, because that's obviously not a stinker for you. So I take it back. I actually have like Lucky's a stinker for you?
I didn't say Lucky wasn't a stinker. No, it's not a stinker. It's my 1B. I love Lucky. It's good stuff.
My God.
It's good stuff.
So are we just going like one by one, or are we at this point? What are we doing here?
We can bounce around. I mean,
okay. Let's
stop talking about stinker. Let's say something nice. Let's say something nice.
But nice things are so difficult with this.
Nice guys finish
honestly,
lives.
Besides like the big bangers, we only have 4 other songs we haven't talked about. So let's just run through those, and then we'll kind of round it out with the big pop stuff. Fuck it. Let's just go through one Kiss from You. Obviously, that's not a banger for you, right?
No, this is not a banger. I only have 2 bangers. Lucky is one of them. This is not the other one. One Kiss from You. One Kiss from You is okay though. I just think like dude, her lower vocals at this point are they're so dumb. They're so stupid.
Yeah.
This is just this fake sounding funk song. It's not terrible. It's just really dumb.
It's very mid tempo, but it still has that bubblegum pop style to it, and it's not exciting. Like I don't know why you would throw that kind of sound onto a mid tempo song like this. You got to make it fun. There's no other way to make a song like that good unless it's faster and more upbeat, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't care. But lyrically on this one, I thought it was a little bit creepy. This is kind of one of the creepy songs. Not nearly as creepy as the stuff on the first record, but still a little bit. And talking about how she's in love with an older guy and she will do anything for him as long as he like acknowledges her. And it's kind of, I don't know, it was a little weird for me. But I also understand, younger girls, they always look up to older people, whether that be in a friendship or a romantic way. I mean, we've always seen that. And we see that with movies like, when we were growing up, it was like girls were looking up to who was popular when we were young? Actors, guys, like Brad Pitt.
Oh, like
let's say Brad Pitt.
FPJ, Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. Well, I don't even know what other
Heath Ledger
studs there were.
Heath
Ledger,
there.
yeah, was another one. Yeah. So these like teenage girls always look up to guys like that in popular, I don't know, Hollywood.
Did FPJ sideburns at the time though? Oof, baby boy, baby boy, hearts be melting.
Oh my God, Josh Hartnett. I think he was another one, right?
Josh Hartnett was cool. I think when did Pearl Harbor come out? Because I felt like that was like what really
2000?
catapulted him. Yeah.
Maybe 2001? I don't know. Okay, Beckinsale was in that
movie.
too. But anyway, yeah, One Kiss from You. I don't really, it's meh for me.
Yeah, it's a stupid song.
Where Are You Now? That song. Slower, kind of a ballad kind of jam. I don't know if you kind of picked up on it, but the melody at points reminded me a lot of the song Heaven. Remember the song Heaven? DJ Sammy? Not DJ Sammy.
Baby, you know what I want. That song?
Yes, that song.
Oh, that song's a banger.
That song is so good. But there are parts in the melody of this song that are identical to that. And that was the first thing I picked up on.
Yeah, I did not hear that. No. Yeah. I thought I just wrote like another slow jam, cool. And I wrote, oh, cool, a guitar solo. That makes sense. That was it. I'm done with this song. Fuck this song.
The only other thing I put was, it's a slower jammy song. Slower ballad jam, I'm sorry. And it has those, what was so typical of 90s music were those really cheesy chimes and like bell instruments, like bell percussion instruments. Oh, I hated it so much. And then just like a very boring acoustic guitar.
Trash.
Just hated it. Yeah, it was terrible. And then Can't Make You Love Me. That's it's just not a good one. What do you got on this one really quick?
This is another oops, I did it again. The ending to the chorus on this is the exact same as I'm Not That Innocent. And most of the chorus is the exact same. But like for sure the ending to this is in the same key, beat, tempo, everything as I'm Not And when she said, "I'm not that innocent," same fucking thing in this song, dude. This, like, if you're gonna make an album, make a bunch of different songs. Don't like disguise
Don't
4 or 5 of the
regurgitate it,
same fucking songs. Pisses me off.
So you picked up on "Oops, I Did It Again." I got a combination of the song "Crazy" from the first record, and then "Lucky," like an upbeat version of "Lucky" with a little bit of "Crazy" thrown in there. That's what I got here on this song.
So no matter what, we both felt like they are, like you said, regurgitating things themselves.
Regurgitating stuff off this record and her first record. It's not good. Not very good. Not terrible, but it's listenable, but it's not anything
listenable one time, yes, but it's not a stinker, no.
So that leaves 4 songs left to talk about.
I cannot believe Don't Go Knocking on My Door.
Yeah, so
that's the only wild card here. You have 3 bangers, you said.
Actually, I was wrong. I had 4 bangers.
How is Don't Go Knocking on Your Door a stink or not a stinker?
So Don't Go Knocking on My Door is my 4B.
That's what is going on? Did you fall down?
I feel like outside. Did I fall down? My ears have not been run over by a truck. This is the only song on the record that I feel like could have been a follow-up to "Oops, I Did It Again." It still has that poppiness of "Oops," but it has its own identity, and that's kind of why I listed it as a banger. I don't think it's that great of a song, but it stands out from everything else on the record in a good way. It doesn't rip off any other song on it, but it's just a good pop song. I really think it's a good pop song. I mean, we don't have to play it, obviously, because I know I would
love if we never talked about this again, but we're doing it now, apparently.
So what did you hate so much about it?
So I started my notes off with one posse. I said I dig the unconventional type of pacing of the song, but I don't like the song. And like literally, I have nothing else positive to say about the song. I think the synth stuff is super irritating. The acoustic guitar is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it sounds like shit. And there's not even a melody to this song. It's catchy because of its pacing. It's irritating.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's annoying.
That's kind of like a small little scale. It's a little catchy. Come on.
It is not catchy. It's catchy just because you want to just. No, this song's stupid. I fucking hate it.
Knocking on my door. Come on.
No, it's catchy because of its pacing, and that's it.
It's that scale. It's that scale that is catchy right there.
No.
You know it is.
No. I know what you think it is. I know what you think it is, but what you think is wrong.
Catchy. You're just
Your
being,
opinion
you're
is
just being
wrong.
a fussy boy. No,
I'm not being a fussy boy.
Right
I'm being
you are being a fussy boy.
Objectively correct boy.
Well,
and then like the outro, bro. The outro. Horrible transition. I don't know what the fuck she thought, like why they thought this stuff would be cool, especially transitioning into "I Can't Get No Satisfaction." I can't even do it. It was hard for me. I listened to this song once. Every other song I listened to at least 2 times. This song I listened to once. Couldn't stand it.
Really?
Couldn't stand
it. That's crazy. Okay. We don't have to talk about this song anymore.
I mean, I like shitting all over it. It's a breakup song, and it's not about falling back into the relationship. Don't go knocking on my door. Don't come coming back to me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How she's finally over him, and she's moved on. She's independent.
As a 19-year-old, I finally got over my ex. That's a fucking 19-year-old.
Moving on.
Get out of here. Okay, Brittany.
When you literally have no control over your own career, you can move on from something. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Brittany.
Poor girl.
Okay.
Poor girl.
All right. And then, I just deleted all that. So the last one.
So, okay, real quick. On our secret notes that we each have for ourselves, we have our secret notes that we write everything down that we can't see. Instead of deleting, well, you can't see my secret notes. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you didn't say that.
But that's what I thought you would understand what I was saying, but clearly you didn't. Mm-mm. So what I do instead of deleting the notes, I just highlight everything we've already talked about and I just put it in red. So I know we've already talked about it. So if I ever need to go back to it, I can go back to it. I never delete it. I just highlight it in red.
That's a cool story.
I think you should start doing that too, because there have been almost every episode you say, I already deleted it. I forgot what I said. I forgot what we were talking about. Just fucking highlight it in red. You know we've talked about it.
Okay,
Just
okay.
come on, man.
It
It's an
actually
easy
is.
solution.
It is
It's an
really
easy
easy to
solution.
do it on the computer because I can, with the mouse, I can highlight it and just click the fucking text
Exactly.
color to be read. So it is really easy. Yes.
It takes
Starting
less
now,
than
I
2
will do
seconds.
it because
Thank you.
there's only 3 songs left. 1, 2, 3 songs
Because
left.
this is like this has been every episode
It's
since we
not
started
every
the pod.
episode.
Dude.
It's like once a week, maybe at most.
Once a week with our 1 episode a week, yes. Idiots.
Well, let's get into Oops, I Did It Again because that is not a banger for me.
Is it really? Really, it is not.
No,
Holy
it's
shit.
fucking lucky it wasn't a stinker. I'll tell you that much.
Lucky's.
Mhm.
Wait, oh, never mind. Really, I can't believe this is not a banger for you.
Yeah, Oops,
And
I
I'm
Did It
surprised
Again.
We haven't talked about it. Already.
We opened it up with it, and then we're gonna get into it now.
Let's do it.
Dude, right off the bat, her little moans annoying. There is this like super subtle bass slap. It's kind of a bass line, and there's parts of it that like it could be really rad, but it's a pop song, so let's just not have a cool bass line. Other than that, this song is dumb. Her voice is annoying. She has a strong vocal fry. It's all over this
I know.
song. And it's fucking irritating. The interlude is so dumb. It is so bad. This song did not hold up well. Strictly for nostalgic purposes, I could see why this could be a banger, but this song is not a good song.
Okay, that's fair. That is very fair. I agree with you. The interlude is one of the worst things I've heard. And I mean, hip hop has a lot of absolutely terrible interludes and skits and shit, but this is like the worst. This is like the worst of the worst. It's terrible. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for it. I agree with you. Also at the beginning where she's kind of like whine, like the baby whines. It's just fucking weird, dude. It's just weird. It's not cute. It's even at the time, you know, when you were still young and we were teenagers, like it was still weird then. It was never, I don't know. It was just it never felt right. And but outside of that, I think the song is still a banger. It's just that pre-chorus leading into the chorus. It's such a great rise into it. I think arguably it's one of the greatest pop songs ever written.
Dude, just what are you taught? Why would you say stupid things? Why do stupid things come out of your mouth?
But it's true though.
More often than not, stupid things.
How? Okay, you cannot tell me that this is not a catchy song, right? Like a good catchy song. It is. Like you're trying to be like me, but not as cool. Like you're trying to be so different. Try to say, you know, I just because it's popular, you know, I don't like it. This,
Dude,
and that.
like literally, I could just like rattle off like probably 10 pop songs that are better than this one. This is just
But it's still a top pop song. There might be 10 better ones, but it's still a top.
I
pop
think
song.
if we're doing pop music as like a genre or pop music in its truest form as just pop culture, then yeah, this could be a top pop song because it was widely popular. I don't think it was influential, but it was popular.
What?
And come on, that's silly boy talk. But yeah, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
This and Baby One More Time were like the most influential pop songs of this generation.
What are you talking about? BSB, NSYNC, 5, like Christina Aguilera, everybody did it before her, years before her. Are you high?
Out of the 4 big ones, the 4 biggies, you know, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney, and Christina, Oops was within the top 5, 10, if not 5. Like, you can't deny that. It is.
Maybe of just this teen pop era.
Well, no, what I just said, out of those 4, out of the top 4 right there.
But no, she was not the most influential out of those ones.
No,
I
but
think,
I'm saying this particular song
No,
is top 10, if not top 5.
of pop songs of all time.
Dude, I'm on my 3rd time saying this.
But the first thing you
out of
said,
the
you
big
said this is one of the
4.
greatest pop songs of all time.
It is one of the greatest pop songs of all time, but definitely within the top 4, like I said, the 2 boy bands and the 2 main girls, this is top 5, if not, or top 10, if not top 5.
Oh, okay. I'll give you top 10.
Jesus Christ.
Well, because you started off saying this is one of the greatest pop songs of all time, which is stupid, and that's the dumb thing you said, but that's fine.
But it is definitely up there, for sure.
Come on. Backstreet Boys alone have fucking 10 songs that are better than this one. Mbop by Hansen's better than this one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Mbop is better than this.
Good Lord. Oh,
I agree with
loads.
Oh man. And let's talk about the video real quick,
Oh,
because the
God,
video,
dude.
you even this, you cannot deny that video is iconic.
It's iconic, yes, because we've seen it a billion times. Because the fucking everybody involved with it has shoved it down our goddamn throats for the past 30 years.
I do remember when this came out on TRL, it was number one for weeks and weeks. And
I know, I was fucking irritated. I was so pissed.
oh my God, I've watched this video and TRL doesn't play, they never played the entire music video.
I know, it's annoying.
But, it just, even when it wasn't on TRL, it would be on, at 7 o'clock. I think it was like the 7 to 9 p.m. time when they would show like only music videos before they would show like the late night stuff. And then, if you'd wake up at like, they would stop showing music videos at like 8 o'clock a.m. So like anytime before 8 o'clock, you could watch all the music videos, and it was Britney Spears was always on. This fucking video was always on. And dude, it was just all over the place. All over the place. You could not get away from it. It was so bad. It's such a bad video too. Looking back at it, the story kind of tries to go along with the video, or the story of the video kind of tries to go along with the story of the song. And it's stupid, and it's uncomfortable at parts. Ugh, dude, it's terrible. It's so terrible.
It is. It's fucking stupid. And this is at a point where we're already used to stupid Britney Spears music videos. And this still takes the cake. Because Lucky is also a very stupid music video.
It is.
But at least there was a little bit of substance there. A little bit.
And I did kind of realize something this week. Britney has always been, it's always been said that she's such a great dancer, but I really don't think she is. She's not at all, actually. You watch any of her choreography. I mean, I'm not a dancer at all. Not at all.
That is true.
But watching her choreography in these music videos, it's not that
Not that innocent.
I know. It's right when I said I knew it. It's not that impressive.
It really isn't. It really
she
isn't.
moves her arms a lot. I move my arms a lot too while I'm podcasting.
It's true.
And she whips her hair a lot. She whips her hair around a lot. But that's about it. Like, she doesn't really do anything that fancy. I feel like her backup dancers would do way more than she does. But yet she's so popular for her dancing. I don't get it. I
do enjoy dancing. I like dancing. I don't think like I'm good at it. I don't know any kind of the nuance of dancing.
You
but
do dance a lot.
I love dancing. It's amazing. I love dancing. I love singing. But
Yeah,
when I
that's
watch
true.
Britney Spears, I see a woman who thinks about what she's going to do next every second of every moment. And that's what it looks like. It looks like she's always thinking about, okay, after I do the pop, I got to like lock it.
Yeah.
And like it almost kind of seems like robotic. It seems like she's going in steps rather than just letting it flow. Like Chris Brown, douchebag, but holy fuck, that guy can dance. He is a really good dancer, one of the best of all time. Justin Timberlake, Chris Brown's a phenomenal dancer. I'm not even going to go there.
He's very good. I wouldn't say
one of the best of all
time.
time. No, I didn't say the best. It's one of the best. Chris Brown's top 10 dancers of all time for sure. Justin Timberlake, not one of the best, but he has a good flow to him. He has a good kind of like fluidity where it just kind of like goes out from him. It's an extension of his personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe I just stumbled upon this right now and I just said it. I think Britney Spears dancing is much like her personality. It's very formulaic. It's very step by step. It's very, okay, I know I just did this. What am I supposed to do next? What do I do next to make people like me? And that's,
Yeah, I know.
because I agree. I watched a lot of VMAs and I watched a lot of footage of her dancing, and I was like, dude, this is it. This is what people were stoked about. This is not that great.
I'm with you 100%. And that I don't know if you've kind of watched any of her recent videos on Instagram. I mean, she's just like freestyle dancing, which, whatever. I mean, it's dancing. I don't really give a shit too much, but to be considered like one of the great dancers in pop music, watching her kind of freestyle dance in these Instagram videos, I mean, literally all she is doing is twirling in circles, like a lot, like spinning in circles a lot, and then whipping her hair down and back up. That's all those videos are. And I mean, who the fuck am I in the end? But I mean, to be so congratulated for her dancing. I just don't see it at all. And also, she's been so controlled in her life, in her music. It's the same in her dance routines and her choreography too. She doesn't come up with any of that stuff. It's other people that come up with it and tell her what to do, and then tell her backup dancers to do better to make up for what she's lacking in.
Yeah,
she's really not good in anything. I mean,
way
she's not
too much money
exceptional
involved for Britney Spears to be doing anything.
Oh, and speaking of money, that's another thing I wanted to touch upon in this episode.
Yeah,
should we talk about it now?
There's way too much money involved for other people in Britney Spears for her to be making her own decisions.
Yes. So I know obviously she is wildly popular and she's been awarded so many things throughout the years. And for what it's worth, from what I read, she's worth like $60 million or something like that, which is not a lot in itself, but
for someone like her, it's not a lot. And from what I was reading, 57 million of the 60 are tied up in investments and real estate, and she only actually has $3 million in actual cash. Right.
And looking at her career, not only so she's sold over 100 million records. That's just record sales. That's not singles.
Tours,
which she
merch.
sold. Yeah, the tours. I mean, some tours she was walking away with over 500 or almost $1 billion in just one or two tours. That's insanity. And then on top of that, you got to throw in her perfume lines. I think she's put out 5 or 6 perfume lines.
Lingerie
And perfume especially. That is a lot of money, right? That's big fucking money right there. And every perfume line she's put out has sold out. And she's put out several different lines of it. And yet she's worth so little. How does this make any fucking sense? I understand that her productions are very big, like her touring production is very big and all that. And she obviously hires a lot of songwriters. Like, for example, this particular record, she had 16 different songwriters, including herself, so 15 outside of her, to write this particular record. But then when you look at a record like, was it Blackout? Maybe it was Blackout. Or Femme Fatale. I think it was Femme Fatale, actually. Yeah, it was that one. She had 28 different songwriters on that record, and not one of them was her. So, obviously, there's a lot of money going into her name, but she's not seeing really any of it. And it's sad. It's really fucking sad.
I think
from any logical standpoint.
That's why she's so popular. That's why she has such like longevity, is because, again, like, who hasn't been had by the music industry? Who hasn't been had by their manager, by their fucking parents, by their dad? Who hasn't been had by so many people? And I think that's what people latch on to, is the fact that Britney Spears is so iconic, but doesn't really have a whole lot to show for it, except just, I don't know, a horrible set of marriages, multiple stints in rehab, a lot of crotch shots, and a shaved head. And that's like literally what we've reduced Britney Spears down to, is a teen sex icon and those.
And this whole conservatorship thing, which is a whole nother subject within itself. And I mean, people are put into a conservatorship for a reason. Yeah, there can be corruption in it, but considering her past behaviors and all of her stints in rehab, not just rehabs, but also psych facilities, it's not, I mean, my experience in the medical field, which isn't super extensive, but the little bit I've seen with conservators and conservatorships, having seen her or hearing that she's in one, it doesn't really surprise me, because I met a lot of people in conservatorships by the state and they seem completely normal. But, you know, the moment they don't take their medication for 2 days, they're off the rails. And I have family who are that way as well. If it weren't for their husband, they would be in a psych facility if they didn't take their medications. Like, people are under conservatorship for a reason.
Right.
Most people are. Obviously,
right.
there are other people.
It exists for a good reason.
Exactly.
Whether or not it's always executed for a good reason is a different story.
Exactly.
But it exists for a good reason. And the Britney Spears reason, we don't know. We only see what TMZ is reporting to us, right? And then TMZ's not going to report her beautiful family dinner she has. No, they're going to report the worst of the worst. So we've only seen the worst of the worst. And to be fair, like, my God, this girl has just been shit on, and I still don't fucking boggles my mind. She's been shit on her entire career. And if that's all that has happened to her is just kind of like her couple mental breakdowns and she shaved her head and like, that's it? Like, come on. Like, we go through worse and we're not in the spotlight 24/7 the way she is.
Yeah,
that's not bad. It really is not bad.
It's true. But then some other stuff I was reading, you know, it actually is very sad, but I was reading where I guess when that Free Britney movement started, what was it, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I guess
it got like grassroots like 5-6 years ago, but it got hold like 2 years ago when she kind of finally came out and endorsed it.
Yeah. So when that started, I was reading that she was like reading comments and she was reading what people were actually saying about it. And she had like a mental breakdown and had to be admitted to a hospital, like a psych hospital, because she couldn't handle all the things that were being said about her, whether or not they were true or not. But even if something like that, if that was affecting her to that extent, I mean, I would think there's something more at play than just she's being controlled. Like, if she can't handle something like that, psychologically, maybe she's not all there.
It's hard. It's hard because, like, literally we will never know what it's like to have millions of people shit on us every single day for 30 years. Like, this is something we will never know about. And so it's like this, I don't know, man, like when people speculate and, you know, Dr. Phil gets involved and people like him start speculating, it's like, dude, you don't even fucking know. Like, none of us know. We have no idea what it's like. We can only speculate at best. Why are we taking your opinion for gospel? Like, why should she be admitted? Like, who is she supposed to talk to? Much like when veterans come home from war and they're trying to deal with their PTSD and they go to therapy and they're talking to people that have never been to war. And they sit there and they think, like, why the fuck am I talking to you? Because you have no idea what it's like because you never were there. And they can say, I know what it's like, but it's kind of in the same vein. If you don't know, if you can't like directly relate to it, all you can really do is listen. You can't reciprocate feelings. You can't reciprocate thoughts. That's all you can do is just sit there and listen.
That's true.
So I feel bad for Britney, but like, who the fuck can listen to Britney? She's huge.
I know.
Bigger than Jesus.
I know. And what's bothersome to me about it all is that these people that say she's being, you know, the conservatorship was so bad for her, they don't know everything about her. They think they know everything about her because of what they see in the media, but they don't know actually what she's been diagnosed with. They don't know what kind of medication she's on. They don't know her actual medical history. And for people to say that she's being controlled or being whatever by people, I don't think that's just as wrong as accusing her father of controlling her. When he might be in the wrong, I don't know. I mean, we don't know the specifics of that. And then reading more about the conservatorship too, you know, when all this grassroots shit started, Britney said that, okay, take my father off of the conservatorship, but have the conservatorship transferred to an accounting firm to control her assets and everything like that and her money, which goes to show right there, it's clearly not in her right. She doesn't have the mental capacity to control it herself. And then it wasn't until, like, you know, the social media like really kind of came up again and said like, free Britney. And then the judge just this last November said, okay, she's out of the conservatorship, completely out of the conservatorship. Well, just because, you know, less than 1 million people said free Britney, how are they qualified at all to say that this one particular person who they don't know any of the medical history of her can say, you know, what she can and can't do? Like,
I know, it's crazy talk.
It's insane to me. It's insane to me that these 1 million, less than 1 million people have this much control over, you know, the justice system in a conservatorship.
Or it's a good like marketing ploy and to get Britney back in the.
To me, this kind of reads as a publicity stunt by the record label. I feel like the record label knowing she hasn't put a record out in 4 or 5 years now. She hasn't had the residency since the pandemic started. They canceled the residency before the pandemic started. She hasn't really brought any sort of money to it. What better way to publicize her without making her come out with music than making up this conservatorship thing, like the abuse within the conservatorship? Like what? It's all so suspicious to me. Like considering how much she's already been taken advantage of by the record labels, why would we think that the record labels wouldn't go stoop this low to make up stories, to make up something like this?
They have more money than ever.
Exactly. They're only going to get more money in the end.
Imagine if Britney's next album comes out next year and it's titled Free. Like that would just or something along those lines. That would give credence to everything that we just said.
Yeah. And I was looking at her history in the music industry as well. I mean, looking at how many awards she's won outside of Grammys. I mean, it's just astronomical.
Yeah.
But she's only ever been under one record label. You look at any other artist in any genre, pop, rock, weird. Hip hop, they always switch. Like they'll always switch up because they want more creative freedom, whatever. She was under Jive Records until, was it 2008 or 2009 when RCA absorbed Jive Records. So she's essentially been under the same record label from the very beginning of her career, and that's very rare for any artist, no matter what genre. And dude,
gosh, she was there longer than like the CEOs of Jive Records.
Yes,
Good
I know.
Lord.
It's unbelievable how much of a product she is. Like she's not even, at this point, Britney Spears is not even a person. The name is the product. And that goes to show with every single record she's ever put out, because every single record has all different songwriters and producers, and she has very little to do with it. I've always been critical of Britney Spears because of that, but it wasn't until this week when I was kind of really digging into it and realizing like how much worse it was than I initially thought.
She's too far. She's too far in, and she may not even like realize what's happening because she's just been like super soldiered at this point to become this pop icon, and even like the word pop icon and using it with Britney Spears, I don't like it because I don't think she's a pop icon because it's fake. I think the reason she's a pop icon is because we're told she's a pop icon for so many years. She's not a pop icon. She's not a great singer, and she's not a great dancer. She doesn't write any of her own songs. At best, she's just really, really nice. And so to call her like a pop icon in the same, breath as like Madonna or Michael Jackson, or even like newer people like Katy Perry, Britney Spears doesn't. God, it sounds so mean, but she's a nobody. She's a fucking nobody compared to these ones. And the fact that she's a pop icon is because there's been a lot of money in campaigns to let us know that she's a pop icon.
Yeah, it's almost like you can almost compare it to like a political party. So no matter how bad a certain politician is, if there's enough money thrown at a particular politician, the media can be swayed to show that politician in a positive light.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it every election cycle. Every fucking election cycle. We see the same shit over and over again, and it bleeds into the media as well, into music and movies.
She's not a pop icon. She's not. All
right, so should we play another song?
We only have two more. We have Stronger and Lucky.
Yes, we do. So Stronger is my 1B.
Okay, Stronger is your 1B.
And Lucky is your 1B, right?
And Lucky is my 1B. Stronger is my 2B.
Okay. Do you want to play Stronger first?
Sure.
And wrap it up. Okay, so let's play a little bit of Stronger, and then we'll get into the music and lyrics and all that. So here it is from Britney Spears.
Dude, replace Britney's voice with anyone from NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. Easy. We're done. Fine. Love it.
What I was going to say is the first couple lines of the chorus is the exact same melody. The same exact melody as the beginning of Larger Than Life from Backstreet Boys. So if anybody wants to go back and listen to the first couple lines of each of those songs, it's absolutely identical. But after that point, I feel like the chorus gets so strong and it is so good. It is so catchy. It's the best song on this entire record, hands down, hands fucking down.
Well, it's the second best song.
Terrible video though, too, right?
Yeah, it is another very, very bad video.
That CGI is so awful.
It did not hold up well.
No, not at all. Not at all. And then she's dancing with the chair, that aluminum chair. Like,
yeah, I forgot all about like the whole Britney Spears in the chair thing until this week too.
Yeah, I totally did too. And
that was a good 5-year run she had with the chair. Like she loved bringing the chair out.
And it's not even good. Like we were talking about, it's not good dancing. She's not a good dancer.
I will say though, like some of the live stuff that she did with the chair, and she's like stepping on the back of the chair and stuff. It was cool because I'd never seen anything with a chair like that. But,
Yeah.
still not that great. It was, it wore off pretty quick.
Oh, so what else do you have musically on this one?
The chorus is stronger even.
I mean, than Yesterday.
But the verses kind of have their own personality, and I dig. That's what I like. I like a strong chorus because that's what you need to really like dig in the hooks of your hook. Mm-hmm. But the verses don't need to necessarily be catchy, but they need to have kind of like either their own personality in that they need to upsell the chorus, or they need to be so vastly different that the chorus is a relief. And this kind of like does a little bit of both, and I like it. And the ending to the bridge part has that sort of speed metal type of ambient sound that swells in, that little noise.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
And just I listen to like 4 different speed metal bands, and I hear it all the fucking time. All the fucking time. And
Sonata Arctica, and who else?
Arctica. Actually, a lot of the cool solos on Sonata Arctica were the keyboardist.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know.
That's one band I don't know why you like them.
Oh God, it's so good. Winter Hearts. Yeah, it's fucking fantastic. And then and then like the last blast of the song is just real cool. It just ends in a really, really cool that's stronger to end it. Yeah. It's very strong. And like this is a song where you want to, very self-explanatory here, right? She's getting older and becoming a stronger woman. And you want to think that, wow, Britney's really coming out and being stronger. She's really telling us that she's evolving as a musician, as a human, as a person. This is so cool. Like I like it, but it's not her song. So
it's not.
It's
no.
It kind of
not her song.
It kind of diminishes like the value of it.
Yeah, it was her longtime writer Max Martin, who, fuck man, we haven't even touched upon him, but the dude is I think from what I was reading, he is the second most successful songwriter of all time, only second to Paul McCartney as a songwriter.
God damn.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. That's how many singles and albums he has sold as a songwriter, that he matches up with Paul McCartney. Like Paul McCartney barely beats him in that race, but he could easily very soon be the most successful songwriter of all time.
Yeah, he's part of like the Swedish like powerhouse of songwriters that worked really hard to make Britney Spears a corporation.
Yeah, and he still works with her. Like he's worked with her from the very first album until now. That's pretty remarkable, and also kind of sad that she has had zero say in her entire life. Anyway,
it is really sad. I honestly, like, this whole week has been disappointment after sadness, and then turned into like, oh, this is a really good, cool fucking club album, but still kind of sad.
But then it goes to show too, is it because of these songwriters that pop music has gone the way it has? Like, are these the people that are responsible for the trajectory of pop music?
I mean, yeah, you could say that realistically, does music follow current events, or does like the world follow music? And there's an argument to be had for both of them, but like a lot of the good psychedelic sounds in the 60s came about from just an overall protest of war and government. So it's something to be said. And pop music, I mean, the 90s didn't invent pop music, and the 2000s certainly didn't invent pop music. But I don't know if this did I have a lot of negative things, a lot of mean things to say too, but I won't say them because they're pretty mean. But I don't know. I hope not.
But
I guess
I don't know.
these guys shouldn't be shaping our future.
I agree. And when you think of like the way songwriters were in the 50s and 60s, like they defined a very specific era of pop music or R&B music. You know, it was a very condensed amount of time, but somebody like Max Martin, you know, he's been in it since the 90s and up until now. And if you look at the way Britney's music has progressed from 1999 until now, I feel like Max Martin might be the person that has really, he's the one who has changed how pop music has evolved in the last 22 years.
Well, I mean,
and I don't think that's an outrageous claim.
If we're just talking about like his report card, because he didn't just write for Britney Spears, right? He also wrote the Backstreet Boys and sings arguably both of their biggest songs. Like I Want It That Way and It's Gonna Be Me. And It's Gonna Be Me is for sure like NSYNC's biggest song.
Oh yeah, totally.
So like one guy is writing like some of the biggest pop hits of all time. Whether or not they're like the best, but some of the biggest pop hits of all time.
And to kind of jump on the big pop artists, when you kind of look a little bit further into his career, you kind of started to see a transition in 2008 through 2010 into more like a singer-songwriter kind of style with Katy Perry and stuff like that. And he wrote Kissed a Girl, Teenage Dream, Last Friday Night, like the big, huge Katy Perry songs. And then you look a few years later, he co-wrote the Taylor Swift songs, you know, what were the ones
Shake
off
It
of,
Off, Shake It Off,
yeah, Shake It Off, which is like, that is a very
so good.
Exactly. And if you kind of look at like the way pop music has progressed through those years, they've kind of gone with how Taylor Swift or Katy Perry have gone. Like there have been shifts in pop music, and I feel like he is the main person behind all of that. Because working with the biggest artists of the time, Katy Perry was enormous in 2009, 2010, and 2011. And then Taylor Swift was always big when she started, but she didn't really take off until the early to mid 2010s.
It's these Swedes, dude. These Swedes and these
crazy.
Fucking this Swedish factory. This other guy or girl, I don't know what it is because it's just a name, Rami Yacoub.
Yacoub, yeah.
That person has written a ton of songs for a ton of musicians also.
I know.
So whatever office all these songwriters work at in Sweden, it's pumping out. It's essentially dictating like the entirety of America's pop culture.
I mean, the music industry is such a bubble in itself, but when you look at the actual songwriters and producers within that, it's even smaller, and how much they influence everything more so than the actual artists themselves, or like the popular artists themselves. If that makes sense. I don't know.
It's very interesting to think that Americans as a whole, as a generalization, we are very like America is better than everybody else type of mindset. And to think that the entirety of pop music is being driven by a Swedish factory of songwriters is really funny. I love it.
I do too. I love it too.
Like the most irony thing that America could ever be involved in.
Yeah, you're right. And it's something that we're going to eventually do on the podcast, which I'm really going to push for eventually, is doing a K-pop record, and more specifically BTS, because they are arguably the biggest K-pop. They are the biggest K-pop group of all time. And I've read a tiny bit of that industry, and that industry is crazy how much they've taken from America and the record labels in America, and they've really just kind of perfected what the 90s were trying to do and just taking it to the next level. And that's why BTS is so popular and K-pop is so popular, because they perfected all of that stuff.
Ooh, if they perfected the 90s era of pop music, then I'm very interested, because there's a lot of good things about this album that we're doing, but there's more bad things.
So I listened to a couple BTS songs, and I understand why they're popular. I can totally understand why they're as popular as they are, because some of their songs they're good. They're good pop songs. They really are. And then kind of reading the little, like I said, the little bit I've read into K-pop, they're kind of geniuses. Really, they are like this. There's this whole like, I don't even want to call it record label, but this whole company, this production company in Korea, in South Korea, that's all they do. All they do is make these groups and these boy bands and girl bands like Lou Pearlman was doing in the 90s. They're essentially doing what Lou Pearlman was doing in the 90s, but taking it, just amplifying it times a million. That's what this company is doing in South Korea. And it's just blowing up the world.
Well, that's what this company fucking did in Sweden and help Lou Pearlman and help these big pop names in the 90s and 2000s.
It's fucking nuts, man.
I cannot believe how many of these songwriters were from Sweden. Like that's what really.
It's pretty wild, right? And every time Britney goes, she travels. She literally goes to Sweden and does this shit in Sweden and records most of the records over there, and then brings it back here, which is whatever. It bands have always done. They've gone to Switzerland. They've gone to England, especially England or France or whatever, and just recorded records there. But I don't know, man. This duo, they've done so much, or this group in Sweden have done so much with pop music. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
It's just like when did this transition happen? Because like Carole King is an older songwriter who wrote songs for a lot of different singers and musicians, but like the whole she worked at the Brill Building in New York, and that was in Manhattan. And that was like essentially a building that just pumped out a lot of like music, starting from like the big band era, and wrote music like all the way through like the 70s. And I just like, when the fuck did that happen where we outsourced music? Like why? Who did this? Why did this happen?
Maybe it was just laziness on the Americans' part.
Because there's no shortage of musicians over here.
True.
We're just a bigger country. We have more people. There's no shortage. And that would be like an interesting thing to dive into also, is when did like the outsourcing of songwriting happen? Maybe, I don't know.
Hasn't the outsourcing of anything been cheaper? I mean, when you look at like taking it down to the very basic level, and outsourcing manufacturing has always been cheaper. Maybe it's the same thing with, songwriting and this kind of stuff. I don't know. It's an interesting topic. Because
like the Brill Building, that was a factory of musicians. I mean, we're talking, they employed 20 different guitarists. They had 15 different drummers, all studio guys, including Carole King. And if anybody that wanted to write a song or write an album or whatever, and you were signed to whatever Brill Building was networking with at the time, you had a slew of like 100 musicians at your disposal to help you write songs, to help you write music, to do whatever you wanted to. Mm-hmm. But it closed. And so like, why? I don't know, but like, why? Why?
Who knows? I mean, who fucking knows?
It's so weird. It's so interesting.
Yeah. The music industry it's a really fascinating thing, and like I was saying earlier, it's such a bubble, and it's so small. It's not nearly as big as most people think it is, and like we do it as a joke, at the beginning of every rankings episode. But we do our 6 degrees of Tom DeLonge because Tom DeLonge can be traced back to anybody. It's not that big of an industry.
Yeah, especially
or at least in the pop sense. Anything popular it's not a big industry at all. And the same thing goes for Hollywood. Hollywood's not big. It's really not.
The same people in the same movies, and it's the same fucking people.
And it goes into politics as well. There aren't that many politicians.
That's even worse.
Yeah. But we're led to believe that, it's so many people believe in one thing, but it's really not. It's just a small fraction of the actual society. But we're just manipulated into thinking one thing, and that's how the music and movie industry is as well. So let's get into your 1B.
Lucky. She's so lucky. She's
a star.
Dude, okay, so like the pre-chorus on this one. So what B is this for you? I know, I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to backtrack. What B is this for you? And
this is my 3B. This is my 3B.
Oh, oops, I did it again. Your second B. That's so annoying. I don't like any of that at all. That's fine.
I don't think Lucky is that great of a song. I think it's just a bad song that is just so memorable. It's a memorably bad song.
I like how this song swings. It has a good swing to it. It's easy listening. It's like big band Lawrence Welk shit, but pop. And that pre-chorus,
okay.
when they go, "Isn't she lovely, this Hollywood girl?" The way she sings that, it's just
it's oh my god,
girl.
it's so.
That is my favorite part of this
band.
album. It is my favorite part of this entire album. I love it so goddamn much. But I will say that the chorus is okay. The chorus is fine.
But that's all you're gonna sing, though.
My money's in the verse. The knock on the door. Like the verses.
Then you hear the actual knocks.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I hate it so much. Oh.
Yeah, my money's on the verses. My money is on the pre-chorus. The chorus itself is it's iconic. It's catchy, but it's not my favorite part.
Okay, so let's play a little bit of Lucky, and then we'll talk about the lyrics and the music video as well.
Holy shit! I can't put this. I can't. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I can't in good conscience put this as my 1B. There's just no way.
Oh, really?
I can't. That was annoying.
Wait, were you actually able to hear it?
Yeah, I know. I only heard her vocals. That was it.
Really?
No, they were isolated. It was annoying. It was
no shit.
It was bad. She is annoying. But so given that, I will still say that the pre-chorus, "Isn't she lovely, this Hollywood girl?" God damn, I love that so much.
Yeah, that chorus is the best part for sure.
This song would have been a good like dashboard confessional song. This is a good nuanced song just on an acoustic guitar, because dashboard's pop music essentially.
Well, yeah,
and
done in a very whiny way.
This should have just been like an acoustic guitar song. There's way too much going on, but fuck me, dude. Her voice is so annoying in the verse. I literally just said how much I like the verse. I don't like the verse at all now. Hate it. Can't listen to it. Unlistenable.
I agree with you. That pre-chorus is the best part of the song. That lead up into it is really, it's really fantastic. I really think it's killer.
And why does she feel the need to like when then why do these tears come at night? Why does she feel the need to do like the high pitched but like whisper sing? It just sounds like shit.
That's true. But then she kind of like brings it down low at the very end. Why do these tears come at night? Like she like brings
night. But you can't hit the high notes. Then don't pretend to hit the high notes. What you're doing is pretending. When you do a high pitched like whisper, you're pretending.
This coming from two guys who literally know nothing about vocal
we know
training
everything about vocal training. Yes.
Or vocal training. I don't know. Whatever you want.
I know everything about vocal training, like literally everything.
Yeah, you are a teacher of the Vox. Let's just say that.
I wrote the book.
You did write it. It is a very short book.
It's very short. It's a very short book. Yes.
All right. So what do you got lyrically on this one?
It's funny because if you go to like the Genius page, everyone's like, "This song is about Brit. This song is about Britney. This is a Britney song." It's like, dude, like it was never like deeper than that. Yes, I get it. Like they're trying to pretend like Britney Spears has like a deeper part of her. There's something deep inside of her that's a little bit sad. And I get it. I like it. I like the idea of that. But she didn't write the song.
No.
So
she has nothing to do with this song.
This is awkward.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like I want to do that. Help me help you. Help me help you. I want to believe. I'm like fucking Mulder out here in the Britney Spears realm. I'm like fucking Fox Mulder. I want to believe. I want to believe there's something deeper to you.
Yes, correct. And with this lyrically on this song, this could have been the deepest, most heartfelt song because it is about. I mean, obviously it's not written by her, but I feel like what's trying to be conveyed is that no matter how much fame and money and spotlight she has, she could still be depressed. She could still be sad. Like she could still feel lonely because everything is so. What am I trying to say?
Melancholy overall. It's a very sad song. She's a person. kind of.
Yeah. But then once you read, she literally had nothing to do with the song, except that she was thrown into a vocal booth and said, "Sing these lyrics how I
Read
want
these
you
words.
to sing them. Sing these words how I want you to sing them." That's what the song is. So, I don't
It
know.
is really it's really hard to get behind, and like I really want to support this because like you said, Lucky it could have been the deepest song she's ever done.
Yeah.
But it's just presented in such a goofy way, and I think vocally now even more so after hearing the mono version. God, she's bad. She does like this. I don't even know how to describe what she does, but it's like a nasally thing. She's like in the verses, like that's the way she sounds to me. It's annoying. Shut up.
Oh man. Yeah, so we have to play the mono version on here because our connection doesn't do well with stereo, so I have to change Spotify everything to mono. But it's funny that you only heard the vocal track of that through Discord because
It was fucking bad.
Yeah, because we the way we do this on the pod, we talk to each other through Discord, and the music never usually comes through to Jeff. But that's funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, like even our own like bumper music that we created doesn't come through on Discord. But Britney Spears' isolated vocal track did.
That's so bizarre.
And it was not good.
Oh boy. And so let's talk about the video real quick, and then let's finish this up because we've literally covered like everything about this damn
Yeah,
record.
I mean, talk about like hypersexualized here. Like literally, let's just paint clothes on Britney Spears and put her in a video.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, come on.
I know. Everything about this video is so cheesy, and it just seems like very poor production. Like, I don't know. The costumes just seem so cheap. It just seems very okay. I just realized this. This seems very high school. A very high school production.
Yeah, high school play or something.
A high school play, exactly. Yeah, like all of her costumes. When she's wearing like that pink like frilly dress up on the star, and she's throwing the glitter out. It's so oh my god, dude. This is high school theater to a T. But maybe that was intentional. I don't know.
Because they were marketing to us as high schoolers.
Could have been.
Dude, big music is like big tobacco. Like they get to you young, and they breed you. Like you're a for lifer now.
Yeah.
Like they're the fucking same. I wouldn't be fucking surprised if like some of the CEOs were the same of big tobacco and big pop music. That's how Kramer says it. Big tobacco.
Does he really?
Yeah, he says, "Yeah, I got a case against the tobacco company."
What?
As if they're just one. This is when he was smoking a lot of cigarettes and his face got all disformed.
Is that
like,
later in the series?
It's probably like season 7.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is my second watch through, and I'm on season 5 right now. 4 or 5.
Yeah, he's smoking a lot of like cigarettes because he has like a club where he invites his friends over and they smoke inside his apartment. And he comes into Jerry's apartment and he looks like shit. And Jerry's like, "Dude, you look like an old catcher's mitt." Oh my god, it's so funny. And they put all this makeup on Michael Richards so he looks like shit. Oh, and then at the very end of Seinfeld, dude, they have like a 30-minute special of just like all the bloopers. Oh my god, dude, the bloopers of Seinfeld are so fucking funny too.
I've never seen bloopers from that show.
You never seen any bloopers from Seinfeld?
No.
Oh my
never.
god. Oh my god, Tyler Rebecca Ann said you're missing out. I'm telling you. You are missing out.
Oh my god.
Let's come on. Let's wrap it up here. What are we talking about? Is that
So
where we're at? Where
do
are
we have
at?
anything else on Lucky? Music
No.
video wise, music. Yeah, what about her personal life? I mean, or like not a personal life, but kind of what it's her relation to the music industry. Do we got anything else on that?
I just like overall. I guess it'll be part of my record wrap up. But
Okay, all right.
overall, I think Britney Spears, 9 albums, half of them are listenable, half of them are pretty trash. Out of those half that are listenable, I think half of those are actually really, really good. But I think that's just because of its time, that era of my life. It was just very fun and we had a lot of fun listening to that style of club music, even though we didn't go clubbing. We listened to the music and we had a good time with it. Overall, I do feel bad for Britney. I do think she's been shit on like since fucking day one. Even like Chris Rock called her out in that the one of the VMA, like 99 or 2000 or 2001 or something. And he was like, oh, here to lip sync the next song. Here's Britney Spears. Like, why the fuck would you say that? It's just such a disrespectful fucking thing. Like, there's no reason for it. Chris Rock, who like literally is non-existent now. So who cares? But I understand like Britney's appeal to, again, like the outcasts, because she is an outcast herself, even though she's arguably like the biggest pop star of all time. She's up there. Not the most influential, because I don't think she is, but she's like one of the biggest, if not the fucking biggest. But she appeals to a lot of like the outcasts. So there's a lot of great things about Britney, and she's just never like lost her sense of like innocence, because she's always been really nice. And every interview that I watched this week, she was always just really fucking nice. And I don't know. I really like, I honestly, I really like Britney Spears. I do. As a person, I really like her. I wish her the best. You know, we used to hang out a lot. We don't hang out that much anymore.
Yeah,
So
which is unfortunate.
I do. I wish her the best. Send my regards. And this album sucks. This album is just fucking trash. It's not good at all. I give this a 1. This album is a 1.
A 1? Really?
Through and through. You should for sure listen to this one time, but don't expect subsequent listens. If anything, you'll playlist like 1, maybe 2 of these songs. This album is not good. It is a fucking timepiece of bad pop music from this era.
Okay.
Because there was good pop music from this era. And we did.
True.
Don't forget, we did like Big Willie style, and Will Smith did good pop music from this era.
Well, we did NSYNC as well. We did No Strings Attached.
Oh my God.
Great
good
pop
pop
record.
music from this era.
Yeah.
Britney Spears is just not good pop music from this era.
So you gave this a 1.5 out of 3. If you don't know, we have a 3-point rating system where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album, but you should give it a shot, and 0 is just a trash fire. So you gave it a 1.5.
I definitely did not give it a fucking 1 point. That means you're going to give it like a 1.75, because you're trying to like up mine to make your obnoxiously high rating seem more tolerable. Because it's going to be, oh God, this is so stupid.
No,
It's gonna be a 2.
I know you gave it a 1. I know you gave it a 1. I know you did. So yeah, my final thoughts. I don't think this is a very good record, and it is very much of its time. And I pretty much agree with almost everything that you have said. There are better things that have come out of this era, and it is very sad how clearly she was taken advantage of, and how she was manipulated within the media, and just how unfairly she was treated. And she really, I think she is just very naive. I feel like she is in what I guess Arrested Development. She's never progressed past a certain age or maturity. She's too innocent for her own good, and it is extremely sad how she's been taken advantage of by almost everybody.
She's almost not everybody. That innocent.
Oh my God. Oh no. It's so dumb. It's so stupid.
How come that has never been like a part of, maybe it has. How come that has never been part of like a SNL skit where someone's found guilty or someone's found innocent? Oh, I'm not that innocent.
Oh, I'm sure it has. I mean, come on. It's a very dumb joke, so I'm sure it's been done.
No, I just invented it right now.
Yeah, the genius that is Jeff.
Correct. I wrote the book on jokes.
You did. Yeah, absolutely. So with what I've said and what we've talked about the last hour and a half, almost 2 hours now, I think. No, about an hour and a half. I'm going to have to give this record a 1.25.
Oh, wow.
1.25. Wow. I don't think it's really... Oh, wow. It's
not
a very good record.
It is not a good record at all.
It's not a very good record, no. Like I said, 4 bangers. That's it. That's all.
Oh, there's
so
2.5 bangers. Lucky's dropping quick for me. That mono listen was not good.
That's pretty insane that it has dropped that quickly.
I almost cut you off. I really did. I almost cut you off.
You've only done that once on the podcast where you said, nope, We're not listening to that. Nope. And what was that? What song was that?
I don't remember.
Oh,
But
what
I
song
do
was
remember
it?
doing it. I remember saying, no, we're not. I can't
It was
do
like
this.
it
Nope,
was like
not
maybe
doing it.
15, 20 seconds into. You're like, no, turn it off. Turn it off. What was it? Yeah, I don't remember what it was. It was so funny though. Oh, that's the only time you've ever done that. But anyway, yeah. So you give this a 1. I give this a 1.25. Yeah, it really represents that time period, but it's not very good. And I don't know. I got nothing else to say on this one that we haven't already said, and other people haven't already said. And no, it's It's not tragic, but it's just sad. Her career and life, in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got anything else to say?
I don't. That's it.
Okay, well, thank you all for listening to the podcast. Go to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe to us on there. Follow us on social media at SNI Radio. Thank you all for listening, and that's it. That's all. Give it.
Closer song. If only Congress to stop being so short-sighted. Yes. She said she was not joking my ass. She said this is only my 3rd album. Stay with it. It gets better. That's what she said.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
Okay, Michael Scott over here. Yes. When Oops came out, I love that. When Oops I Came Out, Justin Kruger style.
Oh, no.
That's a deep cut.
Oh, that is a very deep cut. Wow, only like 5 people would know about that.
That was pretty good. It was probably like tearing up our Here We Go. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. Dude, FPJ sideburns at the time though. Oof. Baby boy. Baby boy. Hearts be melting. I'm like fucking Mulder out here in the Britney Spears realm. I'm like fucking Fox Mulder.